Conway the Machine has his final Shady album dropping Friday. God doesn't make mistakes, right? He just got on an interview as of late. I think it was on with Bootleg Kev. He's been doing a lot of press lately. Did a freestyle with LA Leakers. It was bananas, but got on with Bootleg Kev, I believe, and said that he's a free agent after this release, and somebody's gonna have to come with the big bag. He's free from his Griselda obligations, although that's family, and I'm sure he's gonna keep working with them in that light. And he's done with the Shady record situation, which is interesting. We could get into like what all that means, but we could probably talk about that Friday because I'm sure the album will give us more insight to that. But he did release a mixtape, Earthlings. Did you get a chance to listen to that?
I've heard it.
The mixtape is 14 tracks. He did it in a traditional way. He included two songs that are actually on the album, I believe, and in John Woo Flicks and Piano Love, which is produced by The Alchemist. Did you guys hear the mixtape out there? I want to know what y'all thought of it. Sounds like, I don't know, to me, sounds like he's doing his thing. He's getting sharp. It reminded me of the mixtapes that we used to hear back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean like '04, '03, when an album was about to come out and artists would rap over whatever beat they wanted to rap over and give you little snippets of new songs. That's kind of what it reminded me of, and I thought it was dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that jail freestyle was tough.
Okay.
That the Earthlings featuring Jay Skeens, I like that. I like him and Chain's chemistry.
I do too. Let me ask you this: do you still think that Conway is the best MC in the game? Because I know recently Benny the Butcher said that he picked Conway as the best MC in the game over J. Cole.
He's getting. I mean, like I said, so you told me that we can't count Nas, so who would be his viable competition right now? So Cole's viable competition right now. So Cole on fire right now.
The internet artist repertoire says y'all downplaying Kendrick, but y'all be bigging up Conway. Speaking of overrated, listen, man, listen.
First of all, you need to watch your tongue.
Listen, Conway's not overrated. I think that he really doesn't get too much rating, but Kendrick's not active, guys. What part of Kendrick not being active do people not understand? Like, what are we basing this on?
You understand that Conway in the last 5 years has done more work than Kendrick's done his entire career?
Well,
okay. I'm gonna say that again, so that everybody out there understands. In the last 5 years, Conway has done more material than Kendrick's done in his entire career, and it's not even close or even like a conversation. Okay. So just because, and I'm going to say this again, and I said this last year, I said it the year before, just because you're not fully acquainted with the catalog doesn't mean you get to run around talking about Kendrick's 4 or 5 albums worth of material versus this man like 10, 11, 12, 13 albums worth of material, countless contributions to his crew, and it's ridiculous how many verses, like he literally has like double, triple the output as Kendrick, and he showed up after Kendrick. Like, what are you talking about?
Jordan House says Conway has stick to your ribs bars. He does. He's that's why, you know what?
Hold on, who said that? I love that comment.
Jordan House, I believe.
Stick to your ribs bars. Yes, they stay.
Well, you know what? That reminds me, because I want to pull up the track list from the upcoming album this Friday. And I feel like Beanie Siegel has those stick to your ribs bars too. I'm interested to see this Lock and Loaded song that's going to be produced by Derringer and Beat Butcher featuring Benny Siegel. Like, we'll get into this track list in a second, but I'm really looking forward to hearing Conway and Beanie Siegel trade bars because I think those guys really make you feel with those stick to your ribs bars.
No, that's an excellent comment because you want to know what it is. Mike, you ever been in a fight and people fight different, and it's like some people, when they hit you, it just stings more. It doesn't matter what size they are. Like the punch lingers more when they hit you. and it doesn't matter what size they are. Like that's who Conway is as an MC. That's what Jordan's speaking to. It's like no. Like when he hits you, it stays. Like it stings a little. Like you remember that he hit you with something. You know, it's different.
Yeah.
Like a lot of dudes are nice. A lot of guys are nice. There's a world full of nice MCs. There really is.
LP says what I was gonna say. Conway has the cow in his catalog. He said that puts him up there.
Yeah, he does.
It does. And for people who haven't heard the cow, go look it up. And honestly, man, you know, again, back to that Kanye situation, it's like he has a story, man. This man overcame something. And you can hear it. You know what I mean? Like it's.
How long did I tell you to listen to the cow, Mike? It's one of those songs that like you're like, oh my, Mike. It's up there with Prodigy's verse on Shook Ones. It's up there with whatever your favorite Nas verse is. Like it's up there. Like it's one of the best verses ever.
When you have a story and you've been through it and you're not afraid to talk about it, that puts things in a whole different level, man. That puts you in that through the wire type of, scenario. And even with 50, Many Man, it sounds different than his other shit. It does.
It hits you different.
It's different.
It's the one time you really, really feel him. You feel his emotions.
It's
like
different.
You feel his paranoia, like all of that. Yeah, it hits you. It's different. You're right.
Feel It in the Air by Beanie Siegel is different. These songs are different, man. Mom Playing Tricks on Me is different.
It was the best rap song that year. It came out in January. It was the best rap song. Read Their Body Language. 85% communication, non-verbal. 10%, man, you know this. 5%, man, you know their story. Other 5, time to show you. Just know you pull your strings. You the puppet master. Fuck the mother bastards.
Ryan Wither said, Coop, you're nice too. You got bars. Gray 88 says the cow made grown men cry at shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I shed some tears behind that record. Real talk. That's real life. That's real life stuff.
Different, man. And you know, do you feel like, again, I don't want to jump back in a Kendrick conversation, but since they want to talk about Conway and Kendrick, do you feel like that there are songs out there where Kendrick really put himself in that place where people could feel him on levels like that?
I think most of the evidence is on Good Kid, Mad City. That's why I tell people Real is such a great song, because that's him coming from that place of emotional perspective, of connecting himself and who he is, but also connecting to other aspects of his community and his hood. And he's detailed, like that's where his skill set and his emotions meet, and he shines. We spend too much time talking about his skill set.
Maybe because I just got off of listening to that podcast about To Pimp a Butterfly, but I feel like Kendrick's battle is within himself and feeling like I can do more. How do I do more to help more? And am I being self-absorbed by not helping more? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like those are some of the things that he battles with and he expresses a lot in his material when it comes to stuff that you really feel him on. Like that whole "you ain't no leader" and all that stuff,
I was just so happy with the Good Kid, Mad City guy that just could rhyme his ass off, made dope records, was a great MC. Like a lot of this, these are some self-inflicted wounds when you want to take on the task of putting together a record like To Pimp a Butterfly. So it's like, well, I don't feel sorry for some of what came after it. It's like, well, you took on the task of that. Nobody asked you to take on that task.
That's real. Back to God. God doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing him and Beanie Siegel trade bars on there. Are there some songs on there that you're looking forward to?
I'm about to go to it. I don't know. I just
so much more produced by the Justice League. I'm looking at, and I'm also looking at the collaboration with him, Hit Boy, Novel, and T.I. That should be interesting.
I'm looking at Guilty by Bink, because Bink is the producer that's standing out as a switch up type of producer potentially on here, and it's a solo mission on there. Mike, right before we went live, I see that he actually dropped or posted something about the Stress song featuring Wallow. So what we have already is that we know we've heard Piano Love, John Woo Flick, and Stressed is about to drop, or by the time we get done with this podcast, it'll be circulating.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly,
what about the Lil Wayne and Rick Ross? And that's produced by Cosmo Beats.
I don't love what I'm seeing, and I am gonna just wait for it just because he is the best MC in the game. But I don't love the track listing. I'm just gonna be totally honest with you because of the records that I heard. Because listen to what I'm saying. If I'm telling you that 2 years later, pretty much, or it's pretty much a year and a half later from When a King to a God came out,
right?
But I would put it at number 3 after Alfredo and Pray for Paris. And we've heard John Woo Flick. Is John Woo Flick better than Spurs 3?
I don't think so. Shamario Patterson says Stressed is hard, so I guess it's out.
I haven't heard Stressed yet. That's why I'm asking. I literally just saw that it was circulating right before we went live, so I haven't heard it yet. So I don't think John Woo Flick is better than Spurs 3 either, and I damn sure don't think Piano Love is better than Lemon. And so
no, it's not.
So I'm really hoping that Stressed is what fam is saying that it is, because it's like my expectation with this was that this album is going to be better than From a King to a God, and now my expectation is kind of officially somewhere like, well, As Good Has might be the best that we're going to get out of it, and I don't know if that's going to be good enough to land you Album of the Year this year, and he might end up being slotted somewhere like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 again, and my money kind of low key was on him.
Let me, I'm going to listen to a little bit of Stress, man. Hold on. I'm not going to play it because I don't want no copyright stuff. But
yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Jill Scott collaboration as well. I think that could possibly be something.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, the production is there. I'm going to listen to it later, but yeah. Production-wise, I'm hearing where it's going. I like it, you know.
I'm saying, and there's nothing wrong with Piano Love or John Woo Flick, but that's not Lemon or Juvenile Hell like we were hearing, was it?
Well, maybe it's one of those things where we need to hear in the whole scope of the whole project. Maybe it shouldn't have been put out individually ahead of time, and maybe we should have just been hearing these things as one piece. Because I will say that about Griselda, at least with at least with Conway and Westside, I feel like you have to listen to their whole projects.
That's true.
You know, it's more so not even really about their individual singles that they put out. They don't put out music in the traditional format.
And also, too, Mike, they're the victim of their own kind of like classic record-making success, because here's the main problem with John Woo Flick. The problem with John Woo Flick isn't John Woo Flick. The problem with John Woo Flick is George Bondo and Brutus and 98 Sabres and Spurs 3 and Tito's Back and The Cow. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like the problem with John Woo Flick is that like we've heard about 10 records better than John Woo Flick with you guys on.
No, I want to change gears a little bit, but still kind of stay on the Conway thing. When he was talking about, basically out of his deal, sounds like he's looking for somebody to cut the check. I know Benny recently got on an interview and saying he wanted a Rockefeller chain. Do you think that Conway is possibly going to end up with Roc Nation? Like, where else is there to go? Because it sounds like he's not going to re-up with Shady Records. And it sounds like he's not going to just stay independent. Sounds like he's going to go somewhere. You think this is more of a call to Roc Nation?
I don't know exactly who it's a call to or what his expectation levels are. What he has shown to me is that, like, has an MC pound for pound and bar for bar, discounting all-time great legends. He's probably my choice for best MC in the game right now. Pusha T still hasn't. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. I prefer Pusha over Conway, but when's the last time? When did Daytona drop?
2018.
Okay, so what year are we in? So Conway, you get what I'm saying? Right, and so he's that dude.
He's showing and proving, man.
Right,
and again, I know people in the chat are talking about Nas. Nas is in a whole different stratosphere.
That's why I said discounting all-time great. I was like, do I got to put it in quotation marks? We're talking about not counting Nas, because Nas has literally been rapping since I was in. No, I'm sorry. Illmatic came out when I was in 7th grade, and he was rapping 3 years before that. So he's been rapping since I was in 4th grade. I'm 40 years old. We're not counting Nas.
You know what? Can we honestly say that Nas is the best rapper in the game right now?
Yes. Yes, if we're just being like all things considered, like because Magic is evidence of that, and it's like clear evidence. Conway's last evidence of that is a year and a half ago, actually. That's
So
why
the
I'm saying,
mark to beat is Magic and KD too, to be honest.
yes, to be honest, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
And then
saying.
KD3 is coming.
And that's why I'm saying it's like that's why I mean it's just like, oh, I'm not as excited as that because I don't think from. Do you think from a king to a god is better than KD2? Because it's not better than Magic, but do you think it's better than KD2?
No, I don't.
I don't either. But here's what I'll
don't.
tell you: I think the highlights from a king to a god are better than the highlights from King's Disease 2. But King's Disease 2 from end to end is a little bit better. And if I think that this album is potentially just going to be as good as From a King to a God, well, then that means it's not going to be better than KD2 or Magic, which means he's not going to have Album of the Year at KD3 on the way.
Somebody said that he's already on Rock Nation, and you know what? I think they might be right because I get confused. I think that it was Westside and Conway that were on Rock Nation, right?
I thought Benny was on Rock Nation.
I thought that's who it is. Yeah.
Benny was on Rock Nation.
Okay, yeah, I'm confused. Okay, Benny's on Rock Nation. Okay.
But now it's any, money, mo. Like, I don't know. Everybody got like
everybody's going to end up on Rock Nation. Obviously, except for us because, we're not getting any luncheon invites.
I think now would be the time to send the invite because it's getting close to springtime.
Yeah, man. Listen. I don't think we're gonna get any luncheon invites.
You get my tailor to like cut me up for a blazer or something, like no?
Yeah, take some pictures of people and stuff. All right, so I think Conway's gonna end up dropping a strong effort, but you're right. Nas is the guy to beat when it comes to this, and KD3 is coming. Pusha T is talking very highly of his effort, and I don't know, man. We're just gonna have to see. I think that him. I don't know. It could go two ways, right? He either wants to end strong on Shady Records, or he's just putting something out to get out of the contract. What do you feel like Shady Records ever added to Conway in his career? Because I mean, like at this point, one would look back and be like, okay, well, why did they even do the Shady deal? Because him and Westside were in and out.
No, I've got legitimate questions about that, and I think the reason why they're in and out is because they see that it really wasn't true. How about this? I think they maybe didn't rate themselves high enough when they inked that paper. I think maybe they didn't see the arch of their trajectory without them as clearly and as defined as they thought. And if they did have that arch and that trajectory calculated properly, that means that where they were expecting Shady and the deal and the partnership to take them, it didn't take them there. And once they recognized it wasn't taking them there, it was pretty much over from right there. So it was like either a miscast of sight. It was either foresight or hindsight. You get what I'm saying? But like either way.
I have something to piggyback on to that though.
But also let me say this too. Like part of why the culture is shifted is because of them. And that's what I mean. It's like those are the things that you can't count on. It's like they thought that them jumping over there might have given them a thing or outlet that maybe they weren't going to get to. But what they really found out in the process is that they made that outlet kind of the thing again. Like them along with Gibbs and some other guys and Push. You get what I'm saying?
Things change.
And it changed literally right in front of them is what I think happened. And I don't really think that they were expecting that. And I don't think it's really been beneficial for them on any sort of level that I can quantify.
I was going to say that because I saw up here in the comment where Michael Sanders says marketing is what Shady provided, but did they? Like, what did we see changed from a marketing standpoint? Even when Conway collaborated with Eminem, it really didn't help. A lot of people were very critical of that collaboration. I mean, at least for me, and I know y'all probably gonna just think I'm popping shit, but I liked Conway's part. Eminem came in, the beat changed. I kind of was like, tuned out at that point. I think that the initial thought was Shady Records is Shady Records, Eminem is Eminem. And they thought that, okay, this is gonna add a whole lot to what we do as far as like the amount of people who know about what we're doing. And I don't know if Shady Records has that kind of pull with the public and the industry anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Musically, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Eminem's Eminem. He could be the most famous rapper in the world, or number 2 or 3, or whatever you want to think. But as far as him presenting an artist to the world, I don't know if he has that kind of pull in hip hop anymore. Can
You know
Eminem make a star like
You want to know
50
what?
Cent again?
First of all, 50 was already a star. 50 had
I
New
agree
York
with
a
you.
lot before M showed up.
I agree.
50 had been rolling with Nas and the Bravehearts for years before that. Everybody in New York knew who 50 was. I've been hearing 50 on mixtapes since I was in high school.
Let's keep it a buck. I mean, everything from, the Mad Rapper to Track Masters, but his relationship with Violator and what's his name? I'm sorry, not Kevin Lyles. I don't know why his name's in my head. I'm talking about Chris Lighty. Rest in peace. You was already running with Chris Lighty and Violator. So yeah, no. Yeah.
Onyx, he was running with Onyx too.
That's
Remember
what I'm saying.
The Onyx remix?
No, Chris Lighty was managing him. Chris Lighty set the whole Shady thing up. So yeah, you were already moving. So yeah, you're right.
No. I want people to understand this. Before Eminem ever shows up, this is a guy that is on tracks with Onyx, multi-platinum group, Nas, multi-platinum artist, Nature, gold-selling artist, Noriega,
Destiny's Child is on his album that didn't come out.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, he was signed to Columbia. Yeah. But you don't want to know what really happened here? It's what I would call an imperfect storm. What really happened was that they kind of got together at the wrong time. And that happens sometimes. Remember, like Dr. Dre and Rakim?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, imperfect storm. Like you have your perfect storms and you have your imperfect storms. Like this Nas Hit Boy thing going on. Oh, perfect storm. Oh, Dr. Dre, Rakim, imperfect storm. Shady, Griselda, imperfect storm. It happens sometimes. And it's really like nobody's fault in particular. It's just the game changes. Things change. It happens right in front of you. I told you. One of the reasons that I realized that they weren't really good for them is because I pulled up Conway's Instagram page today. Mike, I remember pulling up his Instagram page 2 years ago when we were reviewing the Lulu album that Alchemist produced. He had like 295,000 followers or something like that. He's got like a little over 500,000 now. It's like, oh no, he was going to do that in the next 2 years anyway, just based on the material. Shady didn't do that. The relationship with Shady didn't take his numbers up or his profile or his coverage or anything. And it didn't clean up their image any in a way that made them more marketable in certain aspects. So they got other endorsement deals that weren't already available to them. So what did it do?
Yeah, I don't know of any endorsement deals like off the top of my head. So,
right.
You would think that that's the type of doors that it would open, but yeah.
At least the potential for it.
Yeah.
And so it didn't yield any of those things. And this is a climate where it moves fast now. You're not supposed to sit and wait 2, 3, 4 years to see if it happens. Your career is over. And also, here's the main thing I want to submit to you about all this. The guys in Griselda are our age, Mike.
Yeah, they ain't got no time for whatever. Yeah, they're like, look.
They're playing the game where they're running around with the 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25-year-olds. Dudes is 38, 39, 40, really. So, okay?
Yeah.
And you don't got time. Mike, how we be? Mike, you saw me today when we were at Phipps. Mike, we had an issue at Phipps today, right? Now, Mike, how was I? I was just like, I don't have time for that.
No.
And I literally, and they tried to check up on me because they knew I was wrong. And what I do, Mike, I stepped out of the store.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time.
Grown men don't have time.
Yeah, grown men don't have time. Real grown men don't have time. No. I'm not about to argue with you. I'm not about to static with you. I'm about to step over here. I don't need you to check up on me and none of that. We good. Because you already know what you did. You already know who you are.
Hey, that was hilarious, man. We might get into a little bit more of that on Friday. Cause,
we was at Phipps today. Me and Mike was at Phipps today taking care of some business.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we got bad service, but, we'll talk about